Hello, everyone. It's a good day, and how best do we enjoy it other than having some time with the Amoye AI faculty? I assure you today promises to be very interactive, interesting, and so much to say the least. My name is Precious Orika, a junior data scientist at Amoye AI Labs, and I'll be anchoring today's event, today's hour of code unblocking session. Like we all know, Amoye has deemed it fit for us to introduce this thought out activity to help unblock codes for beginners and the likes to go through this rigorous journey of becoming a data scientist and machine learning engineer. So big kudos to Amoyi. In just 2-3 minutes, I'll be calling out some very, I'd like to welcome Oluwasegun, who was the first timer here, who was the first person to be live with us in Zoom. So just in a minute, just tell us your experience, Oluwasegun.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. So far, I've been impressed with the way I've been learning the Slack. Okay, I've gotten accustomed to the use of Slack too.
Yeah,
I'm sharing of knowledge. The mock interview has been done every Thursday. Yes, I learn quite a lot from there and all that. And I've met friends that we chatted one-on-one from this platform too. So it's a great one. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm sure prior to this internship, you had no idea about how to use Slack or engagements in general.
I do really have idea of how to use Slack. I don't use Slack.
So that's great. That's great. So another person who would want to speak up? Anyone? Should I call somebody? I'm looking at Helen. Helen, do you have something to say? Helen, do you have something to say? Okay, I think she's shy. So let me just call on someone else. Kosi, Huebu, sorry. Kosi, just give us an overview of your experience so far, how you've been coping with the so many activities going on, and I know it's overwhelming sometimes. So just give us an overview of how your experience has been so far.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, hello.
So far it's been a good learning experience actually, but just that on my own part, I haven't really had as much time as I would have wanted to dedicate to the entire process. But as often as I can, I go through the lessons, and they've been really helpful. But yeah, they've been really helpful. Just that I've missed quite a few of the interactive sessions, especially the ones we've had on Slack. And besides that, it's just, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So have you faced any challenges so far?
Not really. Nothing overwhelming. And while I'm doing the course and I meet any roadblocks, as usual, I just Google the problems, and so
Yeah,
nothing's really serious. Yeah.
yeah. I guess we'll be very more serious when we start the premium package soon. So
Yeah,
should
most
look, should,
definitely. I
yeah, you
think
should look forward to that.
everything, yeah. Everything that was taking my time, I've kind of really sorted them out. Looking forward to the premium. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. So one last person. I think I need to hear a female's voice this time. Melissa, do you have something to say?
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
What I want to find out is when the premium package starts, I don't know how it's going to work. Like for this premium now, it's not everything I can find on Google. Like sometimes when I run into problems or challenges, I know you guys have been there, but sometimes I study till very late in the night, maybe 12 midnight, 1 a.m., which I can't start, getting in touch with the AI staff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's still going to be like a one-on-one for beginners like us, one-on-one coaching, such that you come down to the barest minimum level so that we can get to understand coding perfectly well.
Yes, 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 yes. That's the idea of the premium package. The whole idea is to get beginners up and running and take them to a point where they can comfortably call themselves data scientists and engineers. So during the premium package, we'll be having a one-on-one sections and so many capstone projects, and we'll be guiding you through this project. So we're trying to bring you guys in. Like for now, that's why it's premium. We're trying to take you guys into it so that you guys get abreast with everything that's happening. So be rest assured, for the premium, you have a one-on-one section, code unblocking with any of the HMLE AI faculty. Hello, Melissa, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we just jump right to what we have today. I would also like to emphasize that this externship is where you get more value by reaching out, asking questions to clear your doubts, to get answers to problems you face while we go through this course. I'm saying this because I noticed the low engagement in the Slack channels, the activities from the externs, I guess probably because of work. But there have been some complaints, some personal DMs about how you're struggling with the courses for total beginners. So I think that's why we are here, to guide you guys through. You could just ask through the the Ask Amway channel, or you could send us private messages and we'll be there live to answer you. Then I'd also like to bring to our attention the Premium project presentation holding next week. So that'll be like a wrap up of our premium package. So we can dive into the premium in full. And I guarantee it's going to be top notch, activity packed, and lots of real life capstone projects. And it's going to be unveiled. Like Melissa just suggested or asked, we're going to be having a one-on-one interaction live sessions with you guys. It's going to be beginner friendly. We're going to guide you guys to hold your hands while you go through this ladder. So expect to get so much from this premium. Just to give you some insights, machine learning models are going to be built, deep learning models are going to be built. So you could just expect a lot of things there. So without wasting your time, be having a walkthrough of this course, the version control using JIT. And just like our culture, I would like to give some few housekeeping. The first is the webinar is going to last for 1 hour. And as you have noticed, you've all been muted coming into this Zoom meeting. And if you have questions, please, you could use the Slido 88577. I repeat, 88577. Or you could just type in your questions on the Zoom chatbot or YouTube chatbot. So now I'll hand over to Zaliat Mohammed, a junior data scientist at Amoye AI Labs, and she'll be walking us through to this very course and reviews. So please do enjoy. Zaliat.
Hi, everyone. Once again, welcome to the second weekly code club. The version control course came with 2 projects. And one of the projects is to show you how to create your own local repository and then push it to a remote repository so that you can share the link with your friends, and or maybe a prospective employer might just ask you, oh, so you said you built this model that can do this and that. So where can I see it? And I start saying, oh, I have it on my laptop. It's somewhere and my laptop is dead. I don't know how to get home to get it to you. But if you have a GitHub repository that has the code, all you need to do is just to go to the URL and just copy and send it to the person. So, and the other one is how to contribute to an open source project. Like we've all known, we have a project that's the freemium project where you're supposed to contribute to, you're all supposed to come together and work on a particular project. And you can't just start working on your own project on your own machine and it won't even come together because you will just be confused. Maybe somebody's in Lagos, you have to start running to Lagos to meet the person to maybe share your own side of the code. So that's why Git is good. You can work with thousands of people on one particular project, and all your changes will not go elsewhere to be there. So I'll be walking us through the second project, which is contributing to an open source project. So we have a project that is already on HMLE repository. So what we are going to do now is we are going to walk through how you are supposed to, like from start to finish. So I'll share my screen now. Okay. I'm sorry, Precious, can you allow me share?
Okay, let me do that. Can you try it now?
Okay. Okay. So I believe you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
So I'll go to the project. So the first thing is to fork the repository. And like we've already like shown you in the course, when you want to fork a repository, you have to go to the repository. And here's the link to the repository. So just go to the repository now. So you'll see that we have 19 people that have already forked the repository. And those are the 19 people that have actually submitted their pull requests and they have been merged. So you come here and you click on this fork here. It asks you which of the repository. You might have multiple repositories. You might have multiple accounts on your local. So you have to choose one. So I'll fork it to my personal repository. So this might take a while depending on your network. Okay, yes. So if you notice now, I have my name here, Zeliat/version control with Git. This is my own copy of the project. So the next thing now is, I'll just go to so the next thing is to clone the repository. And how do you do this? To clone the repository, you come to the repository. When you click on this drop down here, it shows you the link to the repository. That's your own version of the repo now. So what you do is you click here, copies it. So you go to where you want to save the code. So for example, if I want to save it here, I just do git bash here. Then it opens the git bash. So what I'll do, I'll just do git clone. Then if I want to insert that, if I want to insert the URL I just copied now, I'll just press insert and then it will clone. If you can see, it has already created a copy of that project here. So I'll go to this project and then I do git bash here. So the issue is some people still use that former window that I just closed now. If you use that, that means you are trying to you're trying to tell Git that the entire folder, this document folder, is what you are trying to work with. But for now, we'll use this one, and then you do git bash share again. So if you use git status, which is to check the status of the repository, it will tell you that your branch is up to date with the origin main, which means you've not added anything. So now, what we want to do next is what? The next instruction is to create a new branch. We want to create a new branch because we don't want another person's code to affect us. We don't want to erase somebody's code. So what we are trying to do now is to make sure we are working on our own part on a different branch. So we create the branch by using the command git branch, then the branch name. So for example, let's just say test. So now it has created the branch test. So to check if the branches have been created, we use git branch. So now you now see that you have two different branches on your local. But this second branch, that's the test that we created, is only on our local machine. It's not on, if you check the repository, you will not see it there. So what we are going to do now, the next thing, you set the instruction, is to switch to the branch. So when you switch to the branch, when you want to switch to the branch, you use git checkout, then the branch name, and our branch name is test. So it has switched to the branch. If you notice, it has changed from main to test. So the next thing now is the instruction set to contribute. So whatever you want to add to the code, whether okay for this project, I'm supposed to edit a file called attendance.txt. So we come here. You can use any text editor. So I'll use the notepad. So for example, now all these names here are the people that have successfully made a PR and they have been made. I'll just add my own name here. And then I'll save. So if I come back here and I do git status, it's going to show me that I've made changes. I've modified the attendance.txt file. And this change is only on my local. And if I want to make sure that it goes to the remote repository, I have to stage the commit. So how do you stage the commit? You simply do git add. If you want to add a particular file, you just use the file name. But if you want to add all the changes, you just use git add then period. Now it has added this. If you do git status now, the status of the repository, it shows you that it has been staged. And to unstage it, if you use git restore -change. So now we have to commit these changes. So to commit the changes, we do git commit -m, which is the message. So we add a message. The reason why you have to add this message is because as you keep working, you're going to have lots and lots of commits. So if you want to go back to a commit, like you made a mistake and you want to go back, you have to start looking for, where was I before I got here? So is this git commit message that will allow you to know? So now I'll say I added Lihat Mohammed to the list. Remember that this is in quotes. So it now shows me that I've changed one file and I made one insertion because I inserted my own name. So now let's check the next instruction. So we've made the changes, we've made commits. So how do we create a pull request now? Remember that while I'm working on this, my local copy, somebody must have pushed and the changes have been made. So if I want to make sure that I'm up to date with the remote repository, what I'll do is I'll do git pull. Git pull will fetch all the changes that have been made in the repository. And if there's none, it will just show you that there's no change. So you do git pull origin main. Okay, so sorry, before then you have to check out main. You have to go back to your main. You have to go back to the main branch. So now you see that it has switched back to origin main. So what we'll do now is we'll do git pull origin main. So this is supposed to pull any changes that have been made on that repository. And as you have seen, nobody has made any pull requests or no pull requests have been made. So the next thing now is want to push this our repository. Want to make all the changes that we've made now, want to push it to a remote repository so that anybody can come and then check and see their names and see my name there. So as you can see here, check here now, you see my name. But if you go to the remote repository, you will not see my name there because I've not pushed the changes there. So if you follow this instruction, you will notice that we are here now. So now we've pulled all the changes. Now we're about to push the changes that we've made to the remote repository. So what do? We do git checkout test. So we're trying to go back to the branch that we created initially. So then we now do git pull, like git push upstream, then do origin, then your branch name, that's test. Okay. Okay, I made a mistake. I think I have issues with Okay, so now we've pushed the branch that we created to the remote repository, but then you still can't see these changes there because we've not made a pull request. If anybody can just create their own branch and push to it, that means nobody will have control over their own repository because anybody from anywhere can just come and then push their own code and even erase your own code. You understand? So that's why I have to ask for permission by creating a pull request. So as you can see, I said create a pull request for test on GitHub by visiting this URL. So we're just going to copy this URL and then paste it here. Okay, so as you can see now, it says open a pull request. So what does this mean? It means you want to ask for permission. You're telling the owner of the repository, which is HMLE HQ, that you saw a mistake or you saw a feature that you feel that the repository needs, and now you want to bring your own changes to it. So what you do is, this is the pull request message. You can also add your own comment here, maybe just a short description of what your pull request is supposed to do. Added a new feature. Just anything you feel like will make the person understand the changes that you're trying to make. So you come down here and then you create pull request. So if you go back to the code now, you will see that here there's a change here. There's a pull request. So now this is the commit. This is the pull request message that you just saw now. It says added Zelle admin to the list. So when the HMLE admin comes and then gets a notification that there's a pull request on the repo, it comes to this place. And the first thing you do is to check the file changes. So the file changes will show you what the person added or removed. So when the admin comes here, he sees, oh, Mohammed Zelihat was added. Then he'll probably want the changes because it's not all changes that are needed. Probably he just left that feature because he didn't want it. So that feature now might be useful or it might not. So if it's useful, then the pull request will be merged. And when you come here, you will see that this pull request will go, and then when you check the attendance list on the repository, your name will be there. So once you are done, once the admin merges you and everything is working fine, you will see your name here. You'll be added as a contributor because you have contributed to that repository. So I was really impressed with the number of people that actually carried out this project. So if you can see here, we have Abu Hanan, we have Glory, we have Olamide, we have Raphael, so these are all the people that have submitted a pull request, and their pull request has been successfully merged. So if you check this attendance.txt now you'll see that all your names appear here. So I want to say to thank Rosemary for being the first person to submit, because that was the first pull request I saw. And so I've come to the end of this session, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll hand over now to Precious.
Wow, that was amazing. I trust you guys had a very, very, very nice time. I think I understood a lot of things that has to do with collaborations, especially using the Git and GitLab and GitHub. I think I understood how to merge. I think I understood how to send pull requests, because you don't just, especially when you're working as a group, you don't just make your changes direct to the main branch, and obviously you could crash someone else's work or the whole work. So I think that was very very nice from Zalia Asmame. Thank you so much for this very, very amazing walkthrough. So I'll call on quickly. I'll call on Basil. For a few minutes of his time to just give us a little brief of how to become a better programmer. So Basil, if you are available.
Thank you, Precious. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Basil.
Oh, awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Zalia, for that session. That was quite interesting. I think I learned a lot. And on the few minutes how you can be a better programmer, or how you can be good or better your skills in programming. So I have 3 insights to share with you all. One is curiosity. So when I say curiosity, what do I mean? So if you have this zeal to learn something, if you have this passion to get something done, I think once you're curious about it, you're ready to go like a very far mark just to get that very thing achieved. So once you're curious, curiosity is like one important thing in any skill you really want to acquire. You need to be very curious about it. You need to have this infinite curiosity that this is what I really want to achieve. This is what I want to get done. I think curiosity is a very, 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 very important thing as to programming. Where it comes to programming, you need to be very curious about it, very passionate about it. The next thing is practicality, being practical about what you're doing. So many people apparently just read research papers, read PDF files on how to program and all of them, without getting their hands dirty, doing these things. I think by reading research paper, reading papers, reading code, I think you won't go far in gathering those skills to be a better programmer. You need to be very practical about what you're doing. You need to be you need to get your hands dirty. You need to do projects. So like as you do more projects, you keep getting very practical about what you're doing, and I think that will take you like a very long way. Collaborate with people, um, I'll try to contribute in open source projects. I think once you're very practical about what you're doing, that will take you a very long way. And then the last thing is trying to find yourself in a community or a group of people doing the same thing with you. So you want to be a programmer, and then you associate yourself with people who are probably, doing marketing or any other field. I think that wouldn't really make much sense. Just the way you all are in this internship is sort of a very an added advantage to every one of you, because you all are doing the same thing. You all are programmers. You all want to be a better programmer. You all are in the same field: data science, machine learning, deep learning. So once you have people around you doing the same thing, there is always a tendency that you will remain focused in that your goal, because people around you are doing the same thing. And one way or the other, you find a way to stay focused and sort of learn from them as well. So when I have my friends around me and they are good programmers, I would always love to, to be on that same level with them, because they are very good. So try to find yourself in a community, just like the Harmonia community. Try to find yourself, like associate yourself with a group of people doing the same thing. I think these are the three insights I have for now. I think once you try to embed these 3 points in what you do, I think it will take you a long way. Let me repeat the 3 points again. The very first one is curiosity. The second one is being practical about what you're doing, getting your hands dirty. And the last but not the least is finding yourself in a community of people doing the same thing. I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Basil. I think I've learned so much from this. Get your hands dirty, be curious, being practical. I think when you have people with like minds, you share more ideas. I think your the rate of getting to where you're trying to go is very, very high compared to when you're just there and you're like the master of none or something. So I think it's a very, very good thing to be practical. Then to chip in something, I think we should all try and as data scientists or machine learning engineers, there are communities, like he said, where we can engage ourselves in competitions as well. Just by, even if it's just basic competitions, you could just engage yourself, even if you don't have any idea, but just by going through their notebooks, you tend to learn faster. So I think, thank you, Basi, for that very, very, very great remark. So I would pass it on to Zaliat for reviews. So Zaliat.
Thank you very much, Basil, for that wonderful session. I feel like if you don't get your hands dirty, you can never know it. That's what I personally feel, because every day I use Git almost every day, and every day I still come across errors that I still don't understand, and every day I ask people, oh, I got this error, I don't know what this is, because you can never fully understand Git, and that's the truth. You can never fully understand it, because there might be a new feature in Git that you don't know about, and then you just get this error and you're confused, like you don't know what to do. Okay, so I love this session, and thank you, Basil, for the short talk. So the next session is the premium courses review. So far we've taken like 3 courses aside the prerequisite course, which was introduction to Python Python with Anaconda and Colab. So the first course is introduction to Python for machine learning. So a lot of people come to meet me and they say they want to learn Python. And then I ask, why do you want to learn Python? Because Python is not just a language that you learn and you can use it for everything. You have to be specific. So why do you want to learn Python? Is it for games? Because you can use Python to build games. You can use Python for machine learning. You can use Python for you can even use Python for web, because there's Flask and Django that you can use for back end and front end too. So this is why we have this course, is to bring you back. So you're not just, the introduction to Python with Anaconda was supposed to be vast, supposed to show you how lists work, how modules work, how this one works. But now this one is being specific, Python for machine learning. So in the course, we covered NumPy. And I know you've been wondering, why do we need another type of array when we have the conventional array that we use in Python? Okay. So look at this now. We are trying to build a model and we have like thousands and millions of rows. And then you want to start using your normal array to do manipulation. It might break. It's going to be so slow and it might even break. So that's why we use NumPy, because NumPy is fast and it has a lot of methods and packages that you can use to do a whole lot of manipulations. You can do, imagine before you have to start coding standard deviation, start getting the mean, then you get the variance, and then you do all those things. But you can just say, oh, np.std, and then you get the standard deviation like ASAP. So it's fast and it has lots of features that you can use. So we also learned how to index. So maybe you want to get a particular index. Maybe you want to get the first two or the first three. So the course also covered how to. So the NumPy eliminates loops. So instead of doing for loops for everything, you can just use one method in NumPy and it will replace the entire code and all the for loops that you have. And then in the course, it also covered Pandas. Pandas is a data manipulation library in Python. And yes, we also have other conventional libraries that we use for data manipulation in Python. But the reason why we use Pandas is because, just like I said, NumPy is faster than the normal arrays that you have in Python. And Pandas is actually built on top of NumPy. So because of that speed, that's why we use Pandas and not the normal conventional way of taking in text. And not just that, with Pandas, you can load any form of data. You can load a CSV file, you can load a TXT file, you can load a JSON file, you can load Excel, you can load a whole lot of data. You can even read directly from a website, so you don't have to start downloading and all. And like the data manipulation, the data wrangling project that you did, you see that you didn't download the data. You have to just use the URL to the GitHub that's the GitHub link to bring in the data. So that's why we use Pandas in data science. And another thing that was covered in the introduction to Python for machine learning is the data wrangling. I don't know if you guys have heard, but data preprocessing is like the most tedious aspect of building a model, because this data comes from different sources. Some come with empty rows. Some people even give you like 3 or 4 different tables, and you need all this data for your model to work. So you have to start finding a way to bring them together. Oh, should I merge them by right or outer? Or so all these things were covered in the introduction to Python for machine learning course, and I hope you guys learned a lot from that. So the next course is the version control, which we just talked about. So I think a few days ago, I saw a tweet from a 15-year-old developer. He's a Nigerian. He's in Lagos. So he said he got 3 job offers. And these 3 job offers were because he was contributing more now to GitHub. And then I was surprised, like, you'll be surprised, like, how does that even work? How can contributing to GitHub give you a job, or make 3 people even offer a job in 1 week? And this guy actually rejected all the offers, funny enough. So he got this job because probably somebody saw his work on GitHub. So for example, now if I'm working on a particular application that needs maybe a particular feature, and I go to GitHub, I check, oh, this feature, and then I saw maybe Basil's repository that has that exact thing, or maybe just with just few changes that I need. Instead of me to look for somebody that will build it from scratch, what I need to do is just contact Basil through his email and be like, oh, Basil, please, can you help me build this thing or with a different feature? And that's how you get jobs. As easy as it is, people don't even do the normal conventional interviews and all now. You see, somebody just sees your work and the person likes it, and boom, gotten the job. So GitHub is important for everybody, not just for software developers, but also for data science, because that's how you showcase your work. That's how people get to know that, oh, you've done something. And like I said at the beginning, if you have a job interview or something and somebody asks you where, okay, I've done this, and then the person wants to see what you've done, you don't just start carrying your laptop. They don't even want it because they can't start looking at it from your laptop. They just be like, where's your GitHub repository? What's your username? Where can I get this? And then you're just like, you don't have it. It's on my local. They'll probably laugh because this is 21st century and everything is on the cloud. So why is your code on your local? So that's why GitHub is very important. And in this course, we covered a whole lot: how you can install Git, how you create your own repository, how you use GitHub issues to work with other people, how you use GitHub, remote GitHub to contribute to other people's projects, how you use branches to make sure that you don't interfere in other people's. So this version control course, to be honest, is very, very comprehensive and very, very beginner friendly. And then the last course is becoming a data storyteller. So after you're done with the whole data wrangling and cleaning, you need to visualize, because sometimes it's not just about building a model. You have to look at the data itself. It's from the visualization you start noticing that, oh, okay, how is it possible that the data is showing that by 2 p.m. the sun is low, like maybe the solar is not getting any sunlight by that time, and then it's supposed to be sunny. That's when you see most of these things. So data visualization is very good because you get to understand the data. That's when you even start getting more insights on what you want to do. From the visualization, you might start getting some ideas on how to build your model. And also we also talked about introduction to technical writing. So as a data scientist, yeah, it's good to practice, it's good to take courses, it's good to interact with community. But I feel like if you want to really learn, you have to teach somebody. And if you want to teach somebody, it's not everybody that is interested. So you can't just go and drag somebody and say, come, I must teach you by force. So if you can't get somebody to teach, it's fine. When you write, it's just as if you are teaching somebody, because you have to understand what you are about to write before you can write it. So technical writing is good for everybody, including software developers and all. So I hope I didn't waste much of your time. Thank you very much. And so I'll be taking the Q&A session now. So if you have questions, please, you can send them. You can use the event code on Slido, or you can use the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. So I'll start taking the questions now. Wow, okay. So we have the first question, which says, what is Git Stash? So I'll call on Precious to answer this question. So Precious.
Okay, Git Stash. Okay, I think my idea of Git Stash, what it does is it takes your current state of your working directory, like the directory you're currently working on, and index or puts it on a stack for later. Then it's sort of like it gives you a clean working directory. So in case, say you are working in the middle of something and you need to jump over to the next job, you don't necessarily need to close all tabs or something. So it's at the same time, you don't lose your current edits. So you need a Git Stash to do that, to help you sort of like put it on a stack for later. Like it's more like saving a directory for later, where you can come back to work on it, and on the same time, it saves your work on the same time, so you could edit. So that's
Yeah, thank you very much, Precious. I hope that answered your question. So we have another question. What is the common branching pattern in Git? So Precious, please.
okay. The common branching pattern. I would say I think it's main. I think the common way of creating branch in JIT is having a main branch where we create another branch to implement new features, such that this pattern is useful when we have multiple developers working on a single project. So it's very, very important to have a main branch where you could push all your codes or commits to. So wherein you have other sub branches, or what we call them new features, so you could merge it to the main branch. So the most common branching is the main branch.
Okay, Precious, thank you very much. And just to add to what Precious has said, you can have multiple branches because you might have lots of features and you might have lots of people trying to contribute to a particular project. So, but the main one is actually the master branch, or it can also be called the main branch, depending on how you set it. So we have another question from Slido, from Anonymous, that how can you bring a new feature into the main branch? Okay, like I said earlier, if you, can you guys hear me? So if you have a new feature that you want to add to a particular project, you create a pull request, just like you did in the project. So you create a pull request, and then if the person is okay with the feature will be merged with the main project. So that's how you bring. Okay, we have another question from Zoom. And the question says, can you give us advice on how to get a data analyst internship for students? I heard it's hard to get a data science position. Okay. So it's from Zoom. Oh, yeah, I know it's hard because initially when I started, I was looking for a data science internship too, but it was kind of difficult because the roles are not most people in Nigeria do mobile web and all that. But that's why we have HMLE. I think this is a very great platform. This is the first platform I'm seeing that they actually are focusing on data science. So this is also an internship. I don't know if you know that this is an internship. That's why we have people that are attending to you. That's why we are giving you projects, and that's why we are having this sort of meeting. So it's an internship, and also the premium students also have the opportunity to be connected to jobs after the end of the internship. So I hope that answered your question, Awal. Awal, are you on this call? You can unmute and speak.
Okay, thanks.
Nice, you're welcome. So I hope that answered your question. Okay. So let me check. So that's the last question. Thank you so much for coming. And I want to say, please take all your quizzes seriously because just like Basil said, practice makes perfect. So if you don't get your hands dirty by actually typing out the codes and carrying out this project, you won't master it. It won't, because sometimes I still Google some things. And every day you learn new things. Every day you get a blocker that will make you want to cry. And I cry sometimes. So all you need to do is take advantage of this opportunity, leverage on the community. I see you guys have been paired with other interns to work on a project. Please take that project seriously and work on it. And if you have any issue, please reach out to us and we'll be there to help. Okay, so.
Yeah. And sorry, I have another question.
Okay, what's the question?
How can we connect with other people? Like I heard connection helps in as a developer in getting positions and getting things like job. Can you give us platforms where we can connect?
Okay, thank you, Awa, for that question. Okay, so we have the Slack channel. I don't know if you're aware. Okay, so we have the Slack channel where we have the A team, we have the HMLE AI Labs team, and we also have other interns. So what we are saying is we have community of people because we see ourselves as a community now. So we have this community of people, and if you like, I don't know if you've seen questions and answers on the Slack channel. We have people that come and say, oh, they can't do this, and then you have people that reach out to them and answer their questions. So that's what we mean by community. So if you have any question or any blocker, you can always reach out to anybody in the community and you get help. And for the job part, for the job part, the premium students, that's if you pay for the premium course, at the end of the premium course, you will have the opportunity to get get job offers. Like there'll be lots of people, like we have this partnership with some people that are looking for data scientists. So we then connect you with those guys.
Yeah, and just to add to what she said, like she said, at the end of the internship for premium members especially, we have the open ones code by Amoye. We have other Marvin code. We have the Amoye AI Labs. So for cases where jobs are vacant, so you could just easily look for premium members that have gone through this externship and have so far done their projects and so many other activities, and you could just fetch out and call them for interviews, and that's it. So we have these things, they're all lined up for the premium members. So that's why we are urging you guys to actively participate and pay for the premium. So I hope that answers your question. And also the channel, the Slack channel, the random channels, you could see some posts about job notifications, Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So you could also check out the random channel too.
Yeah, I hope we were able to answer your question, Awa.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the Q&A session. And then now I'll hand over back to the anchor, Precious. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I am very, very excited to be in this 1 hour of code meeting. And I'm sure we all had a very, very nice experience from the GitHub, from the reviews and so much more, especially for the premium package out. I've been receiving lots of DMs about the premium package. I would like to emphasize, before I go for the premium, I would like to emphasize the need for us to collaborate a lot on Slack. I think the engagement there is very, very low, and it's not really ideal. If you want to become a very good data scientist or machine learning engineer, it's necessary for you guys to come out in max and ask questions, make your questions or your doubts being cleared. So I think, and also we have some awards that will be given out and the end of this freemium package coming out next week. We have the best male category. We have the best female category, outstanding intern for the male and outstanding intern for the female, most collaborative intern. So for considering now that we have very low collaborations amongst ourselves, so who are we going to give this most collaborative intern to? I could see some very few ones. I think Donson is part of them. Raphael Udara is one of them. I think there's a girl, I can't remember her name, I think Ada also, she has also been collaborating so far. So I urge you guys to, as try as much as possible to collaborate, ask questions. And also concerning our presentation next week, we have all assigned you guys different groups, and you all have your, what's it called, your projects to do. So I think before on Monday, we should have assigned a project lead, a query analyst, and before Friday, we should have your work set and done. And I think from this presentation, open source presentation, I think you have a feel of how the premium package is going to be. I think you have a feel of how it's going to be data science. And I think you're going to incorporate everything we've been doing so far, from the JIT, sending pull requests, merging collaboration. So I think all emphasis should be done, or all collaboration should be done on Slack channels. I think that's why we had to center this internship on the Slack channels. So I think that'll be done. And then also we have the machine learning 1 week and hour of code, where you just come in and put in your work so far. Like Basim mentioned, you have to get your hands dirty. So imagine you, for just 1 hour, as little as 1 hour, you just write a line of code, 2 lines of code, or you just read up something that has to do with data science or machine learning. So imagine it for 5 days, that's 5 hours. Imagine it for a week, imagine it for a month. So that's like 31 hours of code. So, and I know you're going to learn a lot from there. So I urge you guys to actively participate in all of this. I urge you guys to, as we'll be starting on very soon, the machine learning hour of code, just, you could put it on one other way, like someone was asking about how to get jobs. So I think if you put your line of code on a platform like LinkedIn, for example, because I'm very active on LinkedIn, I think it's one way to draw attention from employers. You could just put your hour of code, like I did this, and hashtag Amway, and people see the work you're doing and they see the progress you're making so far, and you begin to get messages, direct messages. So that's one very way to catch the audience of employers and organizations. So I urge you guys to actively participate in the hour of code. I'll recap the Slack engagements and the presentations. So it was nice having you guys. It was nice occurring this event today. I remain your host, Precious Orika, on behalf of the Amoye AI Labs, and I wish you all a great day and happy learning. Thank you.